Worksite etiquette is what I'm calling this one. Stay tuned. Worksite etiquette. What does that mean in my world? Well, for me, it means keeping your worksite clean and organized when you get finished for the day. You don't want to have a messy worksite every time you come in. You want to really clean up your worksite after you're done for the day. So let's say you're putting in an 8-hour day, whatever that is, 4 hours, 2 hours, whatever. Your area is going to get dirty. You're going to have sawdust all over the place, scrap wood just laying on the floor when you're cutting stuff up. Tools are going to be in different places. And my idea is you want to try to avoid or limit that as best as you can. And what I mean by worksite etiquette is precisely that. I like to use what I call a staging area for both my tools and my materials. And what I mean by that is, if you look over here, I've got all my tools set up here, right? And when I say staging area, an area where I can get good access to it and where I can keep all my tools in a spot where I'm not going to be doing any renovation work. We want to do that because there's nothing worse than getting to a job site or putting down a tool, and then 2 minutes later you go to the restroom or you get lunch or whatever it is, and you come back and you want to use that tool and it's missing. And now you're spending 1, 2, 30 seconds, whatever it is, to try to find that tool, and it's frustrating. Been there many times. Well, if you do that over the course of a full workday, those hours and minutes and so forth add up very quickly. So what I like to do is, if I'm using a tool, I either use my tool belt, has a hammer, definitely the utility knife, pencil, tape measure. Definitely use one of those on a site. And then like the big stuff, like the big hammers, level, when I get done using that tool, if I'm hammering something in, it goes right back to the same spot, either on this workbench area, which I have set up for my saw, or I'll put it back over here and place it down and then walk back to whatever I'm doing. That way I know it's in the same spot every single time and so forth. I also do that for my materials. I got scrap wood over there, easy access to it, but the main stuff, if you remember in my early videos, all my materials were against this wall. The ductwork was over there, and the insulation here was next to it. We've got tar paper there for flooring, right? This insulation is sitting next to that one. It's opened. So you want to have a staging area for that also, that you can get easy access to and you know where it is all the time. And the last thing is, at the end of your day, clean up your work site. The reason for that is, you don't want a messy work site coming in. You could trip over something, right? It's just mentally for me, if I see a dirty work site in the morning when I'm coming into work, it just doesn't set a very good mood for the day. So at the end of the day, a half an hour before you're scheduled to finish, take 30 minutes, clean up the site, put all your tools back where they're supposed to be. And then when you come in the morning, you're going to be in a real good spot to start the day. The other piece of that too is, suppose you want to show your progress to a friend or something, or a family member, of where you are in the project. You don't want to bring them into a dirty website, especially if you got like sawdust on the floor. They'll be tracking that through the house, etc. So vacuum, clean it up. You can see here I was vacuuming earlier and that worked out pretty well, and we're going to be good. Think of it as making the bed in the morning, right? You make the bed in the morning, and if your day goes horribly wrong, at least you know you've accomplished one thing. You've made your bed. And I'm using that analogy because I know there's going to be someone that's going to respond to that. You know who when I post this video. So until then, we'll see you on the next video montage. Until then, folks, peace out.